Good day, welcome to subramani.com. I'm going to talk about three types of debt. Nobody calls it these many names except me. So, first is terrible debt, next is bad debt, and then so called good debt, though I'm a little against that also. So, let us come to terrible debt. First of all, why do you get into debt? It is easy for somebody who has been rich, who's been born rich, or who suddenly hit upon richness, or whatever be the reasons, to say that borrowing is wrong. It's a very high stand to take that borrowing is wrong. Of course, borrowing is wrong. I don't need to borrow. I will not borrow to buy a laptop. I will not borrow to buy a phone. I may not even borrow to buy a car. However, if I have to buy a spaceship costing $1 billion, yes, I will have to borrow. The question is, for what do you borrow, and for how long do you borrow, and do you have the capacity to repay the loan? Those are the three things to consider. So, principally, what is wrong is borrowing for expenses. Whether it is a marriage, whether it is a vacation, whether it is a honeymoon, it doesn't matter. But you don't borrow for your expenses. Today, I am hearing of finance companies which give loans which give loans to people to buy saris. I think it's ridiculous. If a person does not have enough money to buy a sari, it is high time that somebody actually did financial education and say, sorry, but you need to save for it. If you don't have money to go on a vacation to Spain, if you don't have money to go on a vacation to Goa, so be it. Start saving. You will be able to go after 6 months or 8 months. Please learn that basic patience. There is absolutely no logic to incur a loan for an expense, and expense means, in my head, anything other than buying an asset is an expense. So everything and anything, interiors in the house is an expense, painting the house is an expense, furnishing the house to me is an expense, even though you can argue that you bought a sofa or a curtain. These are consumption items. In my head, this is still expenses. Don't borrow for an expense. Start an RD in a bank, start an SIP in a liquid fund, I don't care. Wait for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, and then go on a vacation or buy your asset. Don't borrow for that. That is what I call terrible debt. Bad debt is what I call for buying a car. If you go into a shopping mall, or if you go into a car showroom, you suddenly find a car which is 10 lakhs cost, and you and your brother, sister, wife, husband, mother, father, whoever, all of you have gone, and you're convinced that that is the car that you must buy, and you have only 4 lakhs. So what do? And the friendly financial salesman sitting in the shop comes and tells you, sir, we can give you a loan at just 11% or at 12%, and you think that is not bad at all, and you go and buy a car. In my head, that is also bad debt. Why is it a bad debt? Simply because you don't need to buy that car. You have 4 lakhs, buy a car for 5 lakhs, take a 1 lakh loan. You don't need to take a 6 lakh loan, right? But, well, you've succumbed to it. There's too much pressure. You've taken so many people. They all say, no, let us buy this bigger car. We need more people. Whenever 6 of us go, it will be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And you succumb to it, and this is what I call bad debt, because the car depreciates the minute you drive out of your car showroom. Car does not sell at the same price. The 10 lakh rupee car will not sell at more than 6 or 7 lakhs 1 week later. That is a huge depreciation for which you have paid, and for which you are going to pay interest over the next 3, 5, 7 years, depending on the tenure of the loan. In my head, that is also a bad loan, but it seems to be pretty common. At least 80% of the cars that are bought in Bombay or Mumbai is out of borrowing, and so if you are part of that, very good. I don't think it is easy for you to say, I will not buy it. You have succumbed to pressure, but next time when you buy a car, make sure that you start an RD 3 years before, because between an RD and a liquid fund, it will not matter if you're going to invest it for 3 years. So do that, start putting money away in a fund which could perhaps even be an income fund, and say I will buy a car only when I reach the target amount there. So you have your target amount after 5 years is say 12 lakhs. Buy a car only after you reach at least 10. Go and borrow 2 lakhs. Don't put 2 lakhs and borrow 8 or 10, which you can because you have a good Form 16. That is not enough reason to borrow. The fact that you are eligible to borrow is not enough reason to borrow. I can get a credit card worth 30 lakh limit. That does not mean I should take a credit card worth 30 lakh limit and start using it to the extent of 30 lakhs every month. It does not make any sense, right? Similarly, don't borrow just because you have the capacity to borrow. Don't borrow because your stupid HR gave you a letter saying you are entitled to 49,612 rupees car EMI. Those are not enough reasons to borrow, right? The third debt which people say is good debt is what people confuse and say housing is a good debt because the house appreciates. Sorry, but the house does not appreciate more than the rate at which you borrow. Housing in Bombay or in Mumbai or in its suburbs or even in Delhi or Chennai is not likely to appreciate at 10% per annum, which is the rate at which you are borrowing. Please understand, appreciation in real estate can't be more than 5-6%, which is perhaps the rate of inflation. It is very difficult to sustain pricing above that simply because people will move away. COVID has told us that we need not be in office to be productive, right? So to be productive in Mumbai, if you have an office in Nariman Point or BKC, there is absolutely no reason for you to live within 10 kilometers of your office. You can afford to live today 100 kilometers away from your office if you're going to travel only once in a week or maybe twice in a week, and travel at a time when it's not so crowded. So let's say you decide to stay in Panvel and come to BKC. Life is not so difficult, especially if you're coming only once a week or twice a week. There are people who are anyway doing it regularly, right? So you can stay far away, maybe Vasai, Virar, and drive down once a week or come by train once a week. All that is perfectly all right, right? So these things will change. However, there is one debt which is undeniably good debt, that is educational loan. If you walk into a college and you find an engineering degree costs 25-30 lakhs, a management degree costs another maybe 50 lakhs, even from subsidized colleges, IIM Ahmedabad will cost you at least 25-30 lakhs, ISB will cost you in that range or maybe a little more. Then the only loan which I would happily call a good loan is a good educational loan. Because what education does, it completely pulls you out of puts you in a completely different orbit. If your father was not so successful, he was a peon somewhere or clerk somewhere, and you realize that to come out of that orbit of peon or clerk and you want to become a management student, yes, you need a good degree. There is no denying that. I am not even saying it makes you a better person, but it opens doors which would unlikely ever open for you. It would never open those doors except by going to a good college. You go to an ISB or an IIM or an NM or a Jamnalal Bajaj, you will definitely get to meet big good companies. Whether you will get selected is a secondary matter, but you will get to meet good companies which would never have opened their doors to you as just a graduate. So if you ask me, the educational loan makes sense even if it's expensive, and you may need your father to co-sign with you if it's a big amount, especially if he's a house owner who has been funded by say HDFC. Then HDFC will give you an educational loan which is largely a loan against your father's property. Doesn't matter, yes, it is difficult, but you have to make sure that you earn well and repay the loan. And just a caveat, if you're taking a loan which is big, which is going to create a hole in your dad's pocket if you were to pay, take a term insurance with your father or your mother as a nominee, so that in case something happens to you, they are not strangled with student loan which they have no capacity to repay, and it will leave a hole in this provident fund. So just ensure that. Other than that, I have nothing against an educational loan. So the only loan which passes my muster is the educational loan, because it completely changes the orbit in which you are and to put you in an orbit to which you belong. Take the educational loan, shun all other loans, and if you have to take a housing loan, make sure you take a housing loan which is just 50% of the cost of the house. This was the rule, remember, in the 1980s. Stick to that rule. It will make sure that you don't overcome it. Thank you.